change this audio. Change this audio. Hey man, Maltilos. I assume that's Spanish, but YouTube is global, so I can't tell. I'm what you call it? I'm sending the link in the Discord. I hope you have some writing questions, because I've got some answers. I wanna try to my sister in the chat. I wanna try to change my audio input to my headphones, because that might just be less noisy. Anything? Anything? I think this. Anything? Anything? I think this. Yeah, okay, this is better. I just have to speak a bit louder so you don't get the background audio. But yes, this should work. But yes, I'm live again. And now we get to go to work. This is a spoiler. Secret project. It's from Maltilos. Who the hell is Maltilos? I assume you mean League of Legends. Maltilos, League of Legends? But who the hell is Maltilos? I mean, I know a lot of the lore, so I'm. Oh, Nautilus. Oh. Do you mean like Nautilus? Swap the N for M. Maltilos. Maltilos. What? I'm still kind of confused with Maltilos. Who would that even be? Oh, okay, you did mean Nautilus. Yeah, there's a 21-second delay in chat. Yeah, 21-second delay with the stream. Okay. I was losing my mind because I know a lot of the league lore and I did not know Nautilus. Granted, I haven't played actually for a long time. Well, I haven't played Summoner's Rift. I've played Teamfight Tactics. But yeah. So you play League. It's a bad sign already. Okay, I need to. Yeah, I only play TFT now basically because yeah, I only play Teamfight Tactics now because League is just too sweaty. Like it's too like I already have enough stress in my life with writing and everything else, and I don't need stress from a video game too, right? So like I'll show you. I do not play I do not play League of Legends anymore. I swore well, I wouldn't say I swore it off, but I rarely ever I rarely ever go into like actual summons. If I go into TFT, do I have any free stuff? Oh, this is my name. I'm super nerdy, as you can see. But like for League, where is it? I think I'm Iron because I played one game of ranked. Honestly, it wasn't even me. Oh, hey man, you're back, Lamau. Yeah, I played like one ranked game here, but in Teamfight Tactics, I am like, yeah, I am well into platinum. Like, I play Teamfight Tactics. Like, yeah. If you go into like match history for League of Legends, it's like my last match was the 5th of this month, which was when my friend was here, and before that was the day before Christmas Eve. These were custom games too, so that don't even count. But my Teamfight Tactics was like today, I think. While I was plotting out some books, I was doing Teamfight Tactics on the side. So like I would have this notepad on my second monitor. Yeah, I have this notepad on my second monitor as I'm planning on this is for the Marvel book, by the way. This is for the Marvel stuff. It's fine if you see it. It's fine. These are the character ages at the start, and then there's the Horizon stuff, which I won't click on. But yeah, I was planning out all this stuff, and like you can see in my other tabs, I was doing research on like what characters I want to use. Like here, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, I was making Magneto's team because I only know a few members, and I want to make it somewhat. I want to make it that before the main character joins the X-Men couldn't outright beat the Brotherhood. So I gave him like Sabretooth, Blob, and a few other people just to make it that way, because the main character is like Magneto is like top of mutants, and the main character comes in and he's like far above him at base, just because of how their powers interact. So yeah, like I play TFT a lot while I'm working basically. Hey, Sim, that's Mr. in the chat. Wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be sleeping? Isn't it like 5 a.m. there or something? Yeah, you're India time, right? Yeah, it's like 5:30. Bro, you should be sleeping right now. No, is it 8? What? Oh, it's 3 a.m. Okay, you should definitely be sleeping. So this means I have people from all over the world in my stream. Yeah. Oh, this is my country, by the way, Trinidad and Tobago. Paradise. So if I click like here, I'll just click a random spot so it will stay. You get to see where my country is. We're a little speck, but we are paradise. So I'm here. I know for sure I have people from Brazil, which is here. I have people from America. I have people from Canada. I know for a fact I have people from Germany, and where's Turkey? Yeah, Germany, Austria, and Turkey, which is... Where is Turkey? Is this? Yeah, this is Turkey, Istanbul. Turkey. Why does it spell it on Google Maps? Whatever. Turkey. And I have from Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, okay, so I have multiple people from Brazil if you're from Brazil too. Because there's this guy who came in the Discord like months ago, and he was asking me for some writing advice on how to do a romance, a harem romance. And he was from Brazil. Yeah. I live relatively close to you compared to the rest of the world, yeah. Oh, and I know for a fact I have readers in Russia. Like, obviously China, but like Russia, yeah. Because my readers in Russia don't read on Webnovel or Scribble which is the two places I post. Bots from other sites will copy my entire chapter and my profile with like my name on the profile and pretend to be me and post it on their Russian sites, right, and Arabic sites. So the Discord link and Patreon link will send them to me still, even though I don't think those apps are like available in their country. But on those sites, people from Russia can read it, and they can enjoy the story too, which is fine. I'm all for like once people aren't impersonating me to like get money. Yeah. But yeah, I live here, and you are. It's my entire goddamn Google Translate. My Google, right? Translate. Where the hell is it? English, please. My entire Google Maps is in some other country. That's why I couldn't. Okay, it's probably Spanish. Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I have people from everywhere, which is amazing because you can actually see it. Okay, I'm gonna show you all some behind the scenes dashboard, right? So this is how it looks on Inkstone on the Webnovel thing, and these are my stats. Right, 365 chapters. So I have one chapter per a day in a year. So you can read one chapter a day, and within a year you catch up. Should go 1,000,000 words basically. For ranking, not bad since it's Sunday. It's Monday, so everything reset. Right. Usually I end low 30s, low to mid 30s, so 30, so like 34, 33 I'll end. 12 million views and 77,000 people on this website have saved my book into their library. Average word. This is what you want. If you're a writer, average word count 2,000. 1,400 plus, always, every chapter. And you can see, like, I post a chapter, this is the day between, I post a chapter, day between, I post a chapter, weekend, right? And then it starts over. But this is what I want to show you all. See, so like I can see exactly like how many people, like Brazil, 0.56 of my audience is from Brazil, right? The unknown is people who haven't registered a location at WebNuffle. So like 0.56, right? If I just go 26,230 times 0.56, 0.056, 0.56. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 0.056. I have 1,400 readers from Brazil, or at least who claim to be from Brazil, which is pretty cool. I can't even name 1,400 people, so that's pretty cool. And this is also why in some of the chapters I have to choose places in the world to show like their pro hero, like what their country is like in the story. So I usually just come here, right? But I skipped United States because we had an entire volume in the United States, right? And I skipped India. Yeah, I skipped India. Um, because I had something planned for India at the time, right? But the reason I'm not doing India or China is because WebNuffle gets very racist if you do like, because like if you're, because WebNuffle is a Chinese based server and company, so if you show India, who's like one of their main competitors, like being good, because I'm always going to show a country's number one hero being a badass, right? I'm never gonna like have a country show up in my one of my books and then have them look bad, because I know I have people reading from there and I want everybody to feel like their country is awesome. So I can't just like, if I show India, my book could get like comment section stuff could get very toxic. So India, China, and like all the countries mixed in with like that nationalism drama, I just pushed aside and I went down the list, right? So Philippines, they had a mention, and their number one pro hero is going to show up if my plan sticks, right? He's gonna show up for a little while in at towards the end of this current volume. And yeah, at the end of this current volume. And I mentioned him like chapter 50 or chapter 60, like somewhere way early on, where like no, it's like chapter 30, where Horizon is talking to Jiro, and he's like, "Oh, you have a sound-based quirk. Most people with sound-based quirks can't use them to fight. Aside from aside from that pro hero in the Philippines, the loudest hero in the world, right?" Yeah, yeah. If you're not Chinese and you're on WebNuffle, just ignore China, India, all those countries, right? And just target the West, because the West has nationalism, but their nationalism isn't as like corrosive. Like they'll still be like, our country's better than yours, but they won't like actively go online and like talk shit about your country, unless your country is France, because then people like to hate on France online. And after the last Olympics, I mean, kind of did it to themselves. But yeah, but like the Philippines has a pro hero. United Kingdom, I don't think I'm gonna show a pro hero for them, because like the culture is kind of, no. I think the United Kingdom, I didn't show one because there's already one in canon. Like Egypt has one in canon. Ugh, someone in my Discord has been asking me to like do a new one for Egypt, because he's from Egypt, and the pro hero for Egypt sucks. Like the number one pro hero sucks so bad. And Canada, I'm not doing. They will go to Canada in a few chapters, right? Well, in a few chapters from where I am currently on the. So I'm currently at like chapter 366, I think, on the Patreon thing. But they'll get to Canada in a few chapters, and then Indonesia, I think I showed the pro hero. Germany, I'm pretty sure I did. Australia I didn't, and Brazil I haven't yet. But I'm not even sure if like all of these will even get shown, because I have like I have what is called agenda with my book to while I'm learning, not like a political agenda, but like to learn pacing. So I'm cutting as many chapters and as many scenes as I can while keeping the story coherent. So like I've cut entire chapters and entire like arcs. I cut the arc where Horizon was supposed to go to Italy, right? Let me show you. Yeah. So this chapter is where like he'll explain like why they're going to Canada, right? Well, Horizon won't explain, but somebody will. The arc where they're supposed to go to Italy, right, and meet Doflamingo, his uncle, and he's supposed to like kill Doflamingo. That is supposed to be here. That is when Ryuko and Law be like finally become a couple. Chapter 360, and then like the next 3 chapters are supposed to be them in Italy, shopping, and chapter 360, sorry, chapter 350, no, chapter 351, sorry, actually mentions, right, them going to Europe and her going shopping, and then it's supposed to show like them actually shopping and being a couple in Europe. But I realized the audience is already so bought into the romance I don't need that, right? And the Doflamingo stuff doesn't contribute to the larger plot. It's just like a fan service thing, and it would take 5 chapters. So I just cut it out, and then we got the two-sided pillar, which is originally supposed to be like Pantu seeing them shopping in Europe, right? And she's supposed to connect the dots that like Doflamingo is like his uncle or whatever. But I just skipped ahead for it to be like her seeing them shopping in New York, right? Because it makes sense. Because how many chapters are remaining in this fic? Honestly, let's see. I have to do. I'm currently doing running in circles, which puts me at 4 more chapters. Sorry, 6 chapters from this point before the League of Villains is destroyed, right? So chapter 366, 368, around there, we'll wrap up the League of Villains stuff, and then we'll go into the actual, because this volume has 2 parts. Because I merged volume. What volume number is this? Volume 10, right? And I merged volume 10 and volume 11 into this volume, because this is supposed to be this volume is supposed to be hunting the League of Villains, and the next volume is supposed to be the Age of Horizon, or like the Age of Peace, or whatever I would call it. But I just fused them into one. I call them Horizons Era, so I could trim some stuff and extend some stuff and make it shorter, basically. I'm eating ice cream, by the way. Yeah. So this volume has about 4, 5, maybe 7 chapters for the first half, because it's just like Horizons, like he's actively hunting Shigaraki now. There's no waiting and seeing. He has the entire world as his playground, and he's going wherever he needs to do, and he wants Shigaraki like in a box, which won't take long. Which admittedly Shigaraki knows, so he's playing it very smart, which, character development. So I'd say like 8 chapters before this is like fully wrapped up, and then we go into the next arc. Well, the next mini arc, because there's this stuff, then there's the Christmas party stuff that UA has, right? They celebrate Christmas just like they had like last year Christmas in the story with Eri, and her first Christmas with like friends and stuff at UA. This year they're gonna have another one, or I might skip it, but it might be relevant, right? Honestly, I could skip that. Or I could just do 1 chapter of like the Christmas stuff, plus Zero and his team's plans for after graduation, because the story doesn't end when they graduate. The story ends like a few months after they graduate, right? That's the timeline. And at this point in the story, Team Horizon has like scouts like from other countries looking at them to hire them. And yeah, so we have Shigaraki stuff, that's 5 to 8 chapters. Then we have an interlude, so maybe 3 chapters, 2 chapters. Then we get into the next volume, the next half of the volume, which starts at the 30th Sports Festival, right? 30th Sports Festival? Yeah, 30th Sports Festival, because they are currently in second year. So they'll be in third year when that Sports Festival happens. Yeah. And after that, at the end of that, we get a small interlude, and then the finale at the arc, the volume happens. And then we go into the final volume of Horizon, which is going to be intense. It's going to be very intense, I'll say that. Because I don't think anybody has guessed how this is going to play out. Like, we all know what has to happen. We all know, like I said in the last chapter, like 2 chapters ago, right? Horizon and Star and Stripe shatter against each other. So they will fight and they will get hurt. And who knows who will win, right? Because a lot of people want Horizon to lose. Like, a lot of the readers want Horizon to lose because he deserves to lose. He's a terrible person. Like, it would make sense for him to lose. But he's also the main character select. But I'm also a kind of writer. I'm a writer who likes to remove my main character from the story. So I have no problem, like, hurting a main character and putting them in the hospital and following these side characters for like 20 chapters, right? So anything can really happen, but nobody has guessed what will happen, which is pretty impressive because some people guessed some kind of ridiculous things. But yeah, that's pretty much how many chapters Horizon has left. But after Horizon is where the fun begins, right? Well, where the more fun begins, because I've been writing the Marvel one, and you'll notice that I'm not doing chapter titles past the first chapter, because a big part of why I had to take breaks from Horizon is because coming up with unique chapter titles, 360 unique chapter titles for this one story, plus 254. Yeah, the dynamic between Star and Stripe is great. I wasn't sure how I was going to play it with the dynamic. I knew I wanted it to be friends, but I didn't know if I wanted it to go romance or like brother sister platonic. But I think it works better for her character, for her to be platonic, and I also want her to be like I want her to be like the Superman figure, like the righteous hero, the paragon of justice kind of hero. So I don't want her to do anything like that. But at the same time, she has like her dark side, which is for Arsenal. So like that's her big character flaw. She can't get over like what Arsenal did to her. Like that trauma sticks with her. So I didn't have her get romantic with him because that might be weird. Even though that would raise the stakes for their final conflict, right? But yeah, like their dynamic is really good. I think I wrote it really well. I'm very good at dialogue, and dialogue is how you communicate that kind of thing. So it was very easy to write, honestly. Oh yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm doing a YouTube thing. Like and subscribe. I beg you. But yeah, her dying at Horizon's hand would be like, it would just be like the most vicious thing, because like after what his mom did, and he is lying to her face, by the way. Like, when she said all the stuff that Arsenal did to her, he already knew. Like the chapter says that. The chapter says it like let me go to web novel. The chapter said tells you that he already knew. So he's known this entire time as what his mom did to her alone together, right? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but nothing she told him was no new information, right? So he knew everything. And then it says like his family held no secrets from each other. So the only surprise, I said it said sunrise here, but it's supposed to be the only surprise is the impact it had on her. So he knew exactly what she went through, but he didn't know how much it traumatized her. So like this entire time he's known that like his mom did that to her. He also knows like he killed Tetsu's dad in like chapter 2 or 3. The Chrome guy, Chrome, that's Tetsu's dad, and that was supposed to be another arc where like he and Tetsu kind of become friends. And Tetsu's like, yeah, I'm a hero in memory of my dad. He was a great hero. And Horizon's thinking like, oh yeah, I killed his dad, right? But he never says it. But then I realize it wouldn't make sense for him to be friends with Tetsu because of how he thinks. And that's how their dynamic works. So yeah, like he's a terrible person on every level. Every level. Like everybody who says Horizon needs to get like killed by the next story, like they have a valid point. Like he should not be rewarded. But as Momo Yaoyorozu said in his story, he wins even when he's not supposed to, because he is Horizon. So yeah, bro is just the worst. Just the worst. And people are amazed when I admit that because like most authors see themselves as the main character, so they won't write a main character that's like unlikable or annoying or evil. But I don't see myself like that. I see my main character as a project of like writing certain traits of mine and cranking it up to like 5 million out of 100. So Horizon is like all my most toxic traits amplified by like 1 million. And like it removes the good, like there's no good in them. Well, there is good in them, but like very limited. But yeah, I had this guy flip out on me. I don't know if I could see the I could find the review. I would love if I could find the review. By the way, reviews are very helpful. So if y'all haven't left a review yet, that'd be real nice. That'd be very helpful. Where is this guy? Um, is this him? Nope. I can't find the guy. But the guy basically says, Horizon's a terrible person. Is this it? Um, okay, I can't. The web novel is web novel is always a pain to find like a specific review. Also, people have no reading literacy. They completely don't understand what the hell happened in that chapter. I'm looking for where is this? Oh my god. It was so funny. It was like the funniest thing. Man, oh my god. Where is it? Is it here? Memes? These are all the memes from Horizon. Um, this one's my personal favorite meme is this one. This is this meme is so good. I can't show some of the others. I'm scared to click on them because my YouTube might get banned. But if you know, you know with this one, right? And then there's uh this one too. I love this one. This is from the early chapters. Yeah, the guy was like he said something like, how can you write such a terrible MC? He's the worst person ever. He's so evil and horrible, and he thinks he's better than everybody. He treats everybody like garbage. And I was like, I liked the review, and I replied, and I was like, yes, he is the worst person ever. That's the point. And the guy was so confused because on a web novel, especially, right? Because it's like a lot of Eastern writers, they write their power fantasies, right? So they only care about writing basically the perfect version of themselves. So seeing an author who's like, yeah, my character is the worst person ever. He's not meant to be like idolized, right? He's like just the worst. Kind of like Punisher is meant to be. And then when I said that, he was like, oh wait, why does this guy think his character? Why does this guy say his character is the worst? And why are you writing him? And then like he deleted that review, and he made a next review, and he was like, this author is so weird. He knows his character is like the most evil, unlikable person ever, and he still writes him. Like that doesn't make any sense. And he gave it like I think like 2 stars or something. I was like, yeah, like he's the worst. That's the point. He's a horrible person, but it's entertaining. So mission accomplished. That's the idea. Can I make the most unlikable character ever and make it entertaining and keep people reading from beginning to end? Also, fun fact about Deku. Deku is the hero of the story. Like, traditionally, Deku is the hero. Like, if you look at what Deku does in the background of like the background of Wild Horizons doing his thing, and like the progress Deku has made, Deku is already way stronger than he is in canon. Because instead of giving him multiple quirks and that nonsense, because I didn't want to overdo the multiple quirks thing, right? Because Horizon has, well, he has one, but like it's made up of multiple. Yeah, but like in the cultivation novels and stuff, when they kill the entire family and the clan, it's like for the greater good, or like because the Emperor of Heaven demands it and my honor requires me to kill everybody. Like they always try to justify it with some nonsense. It's rarely ever just because I'm a piece of shit I kill everybody, right? But as well as saying about Deku is, if you look at what Deku has done between the chapters of like Horizon, he's actually like way more accomplished and competent in this story. It's just that he seems no, One for All is not a mystery quirk. One for All is not a mystery quirk. It is not. Because if you really want One for All, they can make a Nomu with One for All. All it needs is power stockpiling, and then when it stockpiles enough power, you transplant it into another Nomu or person. So if humanity can comprehend it, it is not a mystery class quirk. And humanity can easily comprehend One for All. I mean, All Might understands One for All, and that guy's an idiot. So, well, he's not like an idiot in like every regard, but like in the scientific regard, he's an idiot. So like, not knowing and not comprehending aren't the same thing. People don't understand his quirk because they don't know it. So they don't comprehend it because they're ignorant. But if he gives them a basic description, they would comprehend it. Therefore, it is not a mystery class. Mystery class means if if you told every human on the planet how it works, they would not understand it. That's why Horizon said like after he met Star and Stripe, he told her like, I'm the only person in the world who understands how this quirk works. Even you as the user don't understand how it works. That's why you're so bad at it. Well, that's basically what he said. Because he was like, yeah, you can do these things, you have more creativity, but you lack power and permanence and impact. All you can do is like he basically told her all she can do is wave her hand around and hope for the best. But he has like a structured use for the quirk, which is true because like it's explained like what is it, chapter 17? Yeah, chapter 17, right? I'll do it like this. Okay. He says something along the lines of like, because that's what I want it to be. I had doubts about you until now, blah 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 blah. You can, you always refuse family. Nope. Oh, god damn it. Yes, they are the same quirk. Star and Stripe, Star and Stripe and his sister each had new order, but they could each only use one order, basically, right? At the time, at least, they could each only use one order, and his sister transferred her quirk to Star and Stripe to protect her, and she died. Asuna killed her. I'm looking for the part where he says it. Where am I? Is this it? Chapter 17? Two types of people. This is the chapter, right? He's he's in the tub and he's leaning back and he's talking to Nezu, and he gets relaxed and he says too much. So the first hint of what his quirk actually was is in chapter 18, and the reveal happened in chapter 302, because in most MHA fics they at like chapter 2 or 3 they give you this long paragraph about what the quirk is and how it works and every detail you need, and then the rest of the story is a bit more boring. So what I did is I stretched out that paragraph for like 300 chapters, and even now, and as soon as I finished with that mystery, the mystery of like how his quirk works, I added a new mystery because now he has an awakening and he keeps using awakening abilities, but the audience doesn't get to see the awakening abilities. And when they do get to see them, he says like tea room or serum. No, he says tea room all the time. He hasn't used a serum yet. He will in the next chapter. Well, the next chapter I'm writing, and the next chapter again. But he says like tea room, which nobody knows what it means, right? The audience does not know what it means. So it's like, okay, this is his awakening ability, but we aren't going to learn about it for a while. And he's been using it since before tech. So he's had his awakening for a while. Like at this point, it's like 4 months. Yeah, yeah. I'm looking for the exact thing here. He says like, seriously, da da da. Like the exact quote. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is, right? Yes. Yeah, like somebody says like, did somebody? Oh, it's Sideshow. He came back. Yeah, he came back and commented. So this was the thing, right? Star and Stripe, she saw her quirk as the ability to do anything she wanted whenever she wanted, right? To save people who needed saving, to save people no matter the situation, which is why New Order could work in any situation. But for Horizon, it's an operating room. And an operating room has tools, rules, and operations. So you have to use the tools within the rules to complete the operations. That's the trick. But the difference is, right, her quirk temporarily changes things. Not like if she moves a rock it'll go back, but like if she does something grand, it'll be temporary. If she makes a giant air avatar, it'll be temporary. If she makes one out of water, it'll be temporary. But for him, when a tool is used, right, within the rules and performs an operation, the procedure is effectively permanent. So that's the difference between them. Lots of people came back here. 42 comments. People still thinking this is a devil fruit, like they can't read. People waiting for that reality check. I'm reading. People still bringing One Piece into this. Yeah. 2 years ago. It's only sideshow. Okay, but yeah. He came back on Reddit. What a guy. Somebody came back up for this meme. Oh, somebody came 2 days ago and commented. Oh no, that's from a new reader. But yeah, like it's important to like have this stuff planned out. This is this is the benefit of planning. You can have this like 300 chapters in advance, and also you can tell the audience like stuff. People don't understand that a lot. If you just tell your audience what's going to happen, a lot of people will get excited for it. But you have to tell them way in advance. Coding reality. There's also this quick this code breaker, I think, or something. MHA code breaker. It's one of those things where like he can like, oh, MHA code, right? It is. He can like change the code of his body and stuff. I think. Is it? Is that it? Yeah, he could like change his genetic code, which I thought was a cool concept. But then I started reading it and I was like, this is not interesting to me. Maybe I mean clearly people like it. 4.28 and like 5 million views. But generally, the reason why you won't see stories like that without like going to its ending is because the writer decides, oh, decides I'm going to give my character reality warping powers, essentially, right? Let them code the universe. And then 20 chapters in, they can beat everybody and they can do anything and they have all the guilds and they're like, okay, why do I want to write this story anymore? Then they drop it. Because they didn't want to write a story. They wanted to talk to somebody about the idea of like what if this character could do this. So really, like they should just go in Discord and talk to people, and then they'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to write a story. I'm just curious about how people would think about it. Hey Maltilus, I see you joining Discord. Nice. Yeah, like you, yeah. Generally, stories like that you want to be shorter because like the writer won't get bored. Horizon has like set rules to his good. He's the strongest person in the world, but like he has rules, so I can't just have him do anything. And an important thing too is that other people react to him. So like it's not like if you're born with Superman's powers, like nobody would react. Like no, like villains would go look for kryptonite. They would look for a way to defeat you, right? And it's the exact same thing. Like Shigaraki knows like he can't one-on-one Horizon. He was perfectly fine fighting Deku, but Horizon would just kill him. He can't win, so he's avoiding Horizon. He's outside of Japan. He's using proxies. He's basically become an arms dealer and stuff, like a super villain. Which is why a lot of the League of Villains are like they're kind of fractured in the story at the moment because like every time they talk, it's or three of them in a room. It's never everybody together because he has them all over the place, and they're forming their own little groups. So like Toga, Spinner, and Twice formed their own little team, right? And Toga and Spinner had like romantic tension, I'll say, but he liked her, and she kind of but she didn't really show she liked him, but she liked that he liked her, right? She liked that somebody could love her, so that's why like she's good bait for Spinner, and then Darby and Compress, they don't particularly care about the League of Villains stuff. Compress wants to be popular, basically. He wants to be like a superstar villain, and Darby just wants to hurt Endeavor by killing Shoto. So they usually do their own thing. And then we have Twice, who's just like everywhere because of his doubles. But yeah, like it's important to have them react to the overpowered hero. Like how Kenjaku reacts to Gojo by forming an entire plan. That's what you want. Because if a hero gets stronger, the villains don't just stay the same and get beat up. The villains will also try to get stronger. His power will be gravity, but like black holes are gravity based. So black holes, white holes, it's all gravity. Eventually he'll get to use those things, but like it'll be very limited because he's on Earth, and I'm trying to make that aspect of his power a bit more scientific. So he can't just throw black holes like it's like he's firing bullets. If he makes a black hole, like it'll be a big event. Like it'll be like a world-ending situation where he has to do it, or the world gonna die anyway. He's not gonna like casually throw about black holes. And like for that story, I'm not doing super moves, right? So I'm not doing like how Horizon has like divine divide and like shambles and stuff. I'm not doing that stuff. I want to be more descriptive. So I can show you I can show you the last chapter I wrote for it, chapter 6, right? Sorry, chapter 7 is the last one I wrote. No, chapter 6. So chapter 5 is on the Patreon if you haven't read it, and chapter 6 is like the first somewhat fight scene. It needs a lot of work because I have to add descriptions, but it's like it's essentially he goes to a football game, the football game, right? That they were talking about the Friday. I changed it to Friday night football game. Parties after the game, and then his friend, something happens to his friend. There's a fight scene, right? And this is where the story starts. But like, Grav- Graviton is who his power is based on, because his dad, right? Yeah, his dad's name is Franklin Hall, which is Graviton, who's like one of the most powerful beings in like one of the most powerful Earthborn beings in the Marvel universe. Like this guy fights teams. Like tens of heroes at the same time and wins often. Like, they barely ever use him because he's that strong. Like, he packs up the Avengers, Hulk, Thor, Red Hulk, everybody all at once. Like, nothing. And he's Franklin Hall, and the main character's dad is Franklin Hall, who discovers the graviton particles. So his dad is, like, in most worlds, his dad is graviton. And his mom, right? His mom is Mary Brashear Hall, right? So she married Adam Hall. I mean, she married Franklin Hall and hyphenated and put Hall at the end, right? And the main character's name is Adam, right? So he's named like after his uncle Adam Brashear, the Blue Marvel, who's like a superhero. Who's like, well, in the fanfic, Graviton, his dad, and Blue Marvel aren't like heroes. His uncle just like died in the military or whatever, right? That's his story there. And but he's basically an amalgam of like Graviton, Blue Marvel, and Reed Richards. That's who he's an amalgam of. He's these three characters smushed together. Plus he's what do you call that one? Character. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. But he's an amalgam of, yeah, he's a amalgam of these three characters. So his whole thing is that like he's literally the strongest and smartest person on Earth at like 16 years old. Well, yeah, at like 16 years old. At chapter 1, well, at chapter 2, he is effectively at the top of the world. He has the strongest power, he is a mutant, and he's the smartest person. And the whole thing is like the future is dependent on him uniting Earth to stand against like the forces of annihilation, which is in chapter 1. Like, I tell you everything in chapter 1, right? And I have to add more stuff to this, right? From a child, which is him as a kid, to a student, him in the X-Mansion, to an adventurer, him as an X-Men, to a hero, him as an Avenger, becoming a great and respected leader, right? That's, I won't say what that is. Yeah, you see, everybody thinks having an overpowered and smart hero is boring because most writers suck. Because my current main character is the strongest and smartest person in the world by far, and the story is amazing because when you're good at writing, you can just make it amazing, right? But like, it's him going through all these steps and ascending to a higher calling, a position shared with only one other throughout his universe. This is because there's no multiverse, so I could say his universe, right? This is where the story like ends, right? To an adventurer, I'll say to his death and rebirth. Then his time as a hero. Then his time as a hero, right? So his death and rebirth. But yes, the story is about like him trying to make things. Yeah, it's honestly not hard to do. People just suck at it. Like, I made, okay, so 3 things you aren't supposed to do. You aren't supposed to make your main character a villain, right? Because it's hard to follow the motives of a villain for the audience. So an unsympathetic villain, right? Horizon, my current main character, is probably the most unsympathetic character I've seen in a very long time. He's just the worst. 2, you don't make them a super genius because that's impossible to write. Horizon is a super genius and I write him pretty well. 3, don't make them the strongest person in the book because that gets boring very fast. Horizon is by far the strongest person in the book and it's always amazing when he fights. Like, people love his fights because it's just so unpredictable and he could just like, the tension is so high whenever he's on the page that you're fearful for everybody else. And that's why a lot of people are bad at writing super genius characters who are stronger than everybody else, right? Because they don't know how to set stakes and how to control tension and the tone of the book. Like they really don't. Like they're just bad at it because they think, okay, I'm just going to have him say that he's smarter than everybody else, and throw a bunch of scientific gibberish on the page, and then the audience will be like, yeah, he's super smart. I totally believe this, but no, the audience just looks at it and goes, okay, this is the most boring thing I've ever read in my life, and they just drop your book. Or they just have them be super strong. They're like, oh yeah, he's gonna win with one punch every time, and then it's the most boring thing you've ever read, right? Not insulting One Punch Man, but just I'm using an example, hyperbolic example, right? Like there's a reason all those MHA fics about like being reborn as a Kryptonian or a Saiyan stop at like 20 chapters, because when you can like punch everybody in the world once and they die, it gets very boring to write and to read. So the trick is, if you want to write a super genius main character, you have to understand framing, which I will have like I will have like 3 YouTube videos on how to do framing. Because if you can do framing, you can convince anybody to do whatever you want in real life, and you can convince your audience to feel however you want them to feel in your writing. So if you have framing, your life is way easier. So for the genius side, right? Horizon's framing is that you don't see him solving things much. Like you when he's performing brain surgery, right? I don't go into the details of like what part of the brain he's cutting into. I tell you what he's doing, I make it a vivid description, right? And I go through the motions of him doing it, but I don't get into the science of it. And at the end of it, he explains like, yeah, like this is what was gonna happen, this is what's gonna happen, now you're welcome, right? And everybody's like, oh my god, it's a miracle, he's amazing, blah blah blah. But the way I describe it and I keep the tension high during the scene, it lets you know that there are risks and that he is like focused, and if he is focused, it must be very difficult for regular people to do. Yeah, when done right, they are the best. And then there's like the overpowered character side, right? Which is that they make their powers boring. So if your character just has super strength and you make them the strongest person in the book, your book will be very boring unless like it's a verse where oh, that's the link you sent me. Yeah, I haven't read that because I'm not really into Harry Potter, but I'll skim it eventually. But yeah, like you for the overpowered character side, they make them overpowered without making them interesting. You have to make them interesting. So the reason I'm going with gravity is because one, I love the gravity powers of Graviton. I really love gravity powers. Like my fairy tale book also has gravity powers, right? And Horizon was actually supposed to be a gravity wizard in My Hero Academia, but it changed. Just let me write my gravity powers, please. But yeah, like you want them to use it in interesting ways. So instead of just having them punch somebody, give them like not telekinesis. Telekinesis is too boring, right? Because telekinesis is just you move things to your mind. Give them like to repeat a good example. Give them fire on one half of the body and ice on the other half, and let them mix it up in fights. Give them interesting fights because a overpowered character being boring is only like a real problem if the story has a one-dimensional power system. So Gojo being the strongest isn't a problem in JJK because JJK understands, well, at least for the most part, right? Not for some parts, because some parts are just terrible. But like for Gojo's introduction scene with like Jogo when they first fight and he explains Infinity and does the main expansion, that understands framing very well. So you get the sense that like Gojo is like this unstoppable force and Jogo is just trying to survive. And then it shows you that like okay, you're the most powerful thing ever, but like there are there is nuance to the fighting. You can't just brute force the fight, right? Domain expansion, simple domain, all these things exist. Yeah, that's the next thing too, right? So Gojo and Horizon shares this, so I was going to talk about next. OP characters go wrong when they have no challenge. Horizon's challenge was saving his parents and keeping his end of the deal. Absolutely. Gojo's challenge is changing the world of Jujutsu sorcery. Right? His challenge is political, it's not power. He said it himself. He could kill the high ups, but it won't matter, they would just get replaced, right? So he has to change the way Jujutsu society thinks by raising a new set of Jujutsu sorcerers from as students to build a better society, right? So it's you cannot give them a problem they can punch. Horizon is the most powerful person in the world at the beginning of the story, right? And for most of the story too. But that power doesn't help him. Well, it helps him, but it doesn't let him accomplish his goal of, like, you know, changing the world for the better, uniting the world, right? Humans, mutants, everybody. He wants everybody to be together because that's the only way to survive. And yeah, I he I should probably put like a vision part of the thing. Nah, I won't. But yeah, like, so him being a scientist and the smartest person in the world and like working his ass off is what it takes. You can't do one, so he can never punch his way into world peace. People always rebel, but he can certainly try to like help people out as best he can with science. That's the whole goal of it. And for Horizon, his whole thing is like, can he can he put on the facade of a good hero? Can he pretend to be like All Might for 3 years, right? Does he have what it takes to do that? And what was the next one? Oh yeah, you don't make them evil because it's difficult for most audience members to relate to an evil character. I mean, Horizon's somewhat relatable, but like he's also just like a horribly evil person. So generally, if you want to make a main character, make them a good-natured person who the audience can relate to, right? Make them weaker than the main opposition, so they have to overcome it, like with courage and strength and all that, and figure it out. And overpower, or don't make them a super genius because that's like very difficult to write. But if you're good at framing, you can do all these and get away with it, like I am. Also, I just love like gravity powers. Gravity is so good. Oh, by the way, if y'all wanna see something cool, right? Since y'all are in the stream, I'll show you. Oh, wrong chop, wrong thing. Right, where's my fairy tale? Fairy tale, fairy tale, fairy tale. Okay, there it is. So, people voted for my Marvel fic, right? And I am 7 chapters in. I was 5 chapters in when they voted for it, right? This is why it broke my heart because the fairy tale fic is 55 chapters in. I am 55 chapters into this story, and people want me to do the Marvel story instead. That's like 115,000 words. And people are like, oh yeah, just do the Marvel one instead, bro. It looks cooler. And I'll admit, the start of the fairy tale stories are a lot slower. But, you know, would have been nice to just get to finish it. Yeah, this would have been nice. I might be like too interested in gravity powers for my own good. But gravity is so fun. The universe sings to me such an epic line. I still haven't figured out what my main character is gonna be called. I mean, honestly, the fairy tale, a lot of the fairy tale stuff is in Discord. So if you come here, in Discord, you go into the fairy tale one, and you go in the pinned comments. The first like 20 chapters are here for free. It's just there. Oh, and the JJK story. Oh my god, the JJK story. I'm at the part where he gets his domain expansion. Where is it? What the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm at the part where he gets his domain expansion. It's like the chapter after this one. Chapter 32 is his domain expansion. Yeah. But nope. I gotta write the story that has 5 chapters ready. Yeah, because of course I do, right? Yeah. That's what I get for being up to a vote. Hmm. Gravity powers. I do like those. Writing a genius on sci-fi is the problem though. I'm used to writing in fantasy. So writing a super genius in sci-fi where like technology is the magic. That's hmm. That's new territory for me. So the first few chapters might be rough. Thinking also units to credits is also our next one. Oh. Yeah, the canon of fairy tale is too yeah, fairy tale canon is not good. I'll say that. It's not as good as it could be. It's good of course, I still like it, but like after episode 121, fairy tale goes downhill bad. Like it's the fall off is ridiculous. Drop off is insane. It must be studied. I mean, my entire thing it revamps all of that. It solves all of that problem, all those problems. Okay, I think I'll stream for like 5-10 more minutes, then I'll go sleep because I need to take a nap at least. Yeah, put in time and space to save Lucy. Fairy Tail gets too stupid, too stupid. The world is so much fun though. I love the world of Fairy Tail. Yeah, my main character would be like King of the Fairies Opera, right? So he'd be basically the ace of Fairy Tail by the time he's like 19. And he would be older than Korean Natsu because he's Luxus age. Oh, to the 100 year quest. When they announced the four dragon gods, I was so mad because like Acnologia is supposed to be the biggest baddest dragon in the world, and then like they're like, oh by the way, there's four more dragons that just as strong, which is so stupid. That's one reason I'm glad that people didn't choose Fairy Tail. I didn't want to do that shit. That dragon god's crap is so lame. Cause like if the four of you or like six of you, how many ever it was so strong, why are you still scared of Acnologia, right? Why are you still fighting? Yeah. 100 year quest. Nonsense. Yep. Suddenly four villains stronger than Acnologia. So stupid. So stupid. Also Ignia, Igniel's son. Like, does Natsu have to be related to every big villain? Is that really what has happened? Acnologia was a dragon slayer, right? So they're related by that. Seraph is his brother, and now Ignia, his half brother, is like a villain or whatever. I don't like when stories do that. Like in Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1, but they made like the villain is your best friend's dad, the villain is your professor. Spider-Man 3 came along and said the villain is like your best friend, your work rival, a symbiote who's mad you broke up with its ex, and the guy who killed your uncle like all those years ago coincidentally breaks out like a superpowers. Oh dude, I have such a good plan for God Serena for my fairy tale book, but like it'll be years before that comes out this rate because this Marvel book is like 700 chapters. It's double Horizon. One thing I do like about the 100 Year Quest though is that Luxus is like the strongest person in Fairy Tail through the 100 Year Quest. Because I would honestly say he's like stronger than Gildarts at present time in the 100 Year Quest. Because he has like the soul of the dragon and all that. Yeah, clearly he didn't have friends because like you've seen how he throws people in Fairy Tail. Also like Hero Mashima, the guy who drew Fairy Tail, he could only draw like two characters because in Eden Zero they look the exact same as Natsu and Lucy. Okay, in 2 minutes I'm taking off this stream and I'm gonna take a nap. But yes, 100 Year Quest, Luxus versus Urza is so good because Urza is just getting beat up by Luxus and he wins the fight so easily. Which is why Luxus should be yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he worked on that wood at some point. Yeah. But yeah, I like Luxus as a character, so watching him win was amazing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And check out the Discord for all the free stuff pinned in the chats for the stories. My links work? Yeah, my links work in the description. Today was just for mostly like testing how streaming works in the new room. think I'm gonna move this camera like a bit more towards me. Well, I'll move the screen. I think this should be slightly better. I have to adjust this stuff because the plan is is this it? Man, I'm gonna look at OBS. Okay, the plan is that this wall here will have a whiteboard or easel on a whiteboard, so I can flip the thing and show you guys how I do on my writing stuff, because I know people respond better to that. But yeah, I have to set up all of that this week and get a haircut, then start recording videos, like a lot of videos. I want February to be 3, maybe 4 videos a week. I will see how it goes from there. And yes, my door is black. But for now, we call it a night because I need to go sleep. Yeah. Okay. Like and subscribe, guys. Leave any questions you have, any comments on the Discord. And I will see you for the next stream. Yeah, I have to go with the whiteboard idea because I notice people don't respond well to the presentations on the PowerPoints on the screen. So getting a better camera and doing the whiteboard and editing and like other stuff will be better, so people can actually focus more. And but eventually when I like go through all my writing stuff, I'll do the character breakdown. After that, I'll use the screen. I'll use this setup like a streaming setup with like me in the corner of the screen, and then like the actual web page in the back. Yeah, it's a lot to do, but it'll be worth it because I get to read better stories because you guys get to write better stories. So you know, win-win. But for now, I'm calling it a night. Thank you all for coming to this stream. I hope you all learned something, and if you want access to the resources and stuff, you can check out the Discord. All my YouTube channel resources, like all the stuff I've written and such, are in the YouTube channel server, and you can see like the presentations are here with all the notes and the cheat sheets. Where's the cheat sheet? Yeah, the long-term plan and stuff. Yeah, man, I'm glad y'all came to watch. Now that I have my own space, we'll be doing more YouTube stuff. Yeah, thank you all for coming. I'll see you all for the next stream, hopefully tomorrow or the next day. See ya. Like and subscribe. Bye.